well. So approaching Boise, and I was telling my son that's a police truck, but it doesn't have the lights up there on the top of the car. But it has a place where people sit, the police officers. You see? So I hope you guys are having a good morning. I understand that majority of you guys are having a morning, not an evening. So apparently someone from, is it Zambia, yesterday complained I should use more English. But you know, the local person in me doesn't abandon me quickly. Whenever the Uganda slips in, you guys should forgive me. I'm too local. So a certain place here was actually demolished here in Boise near Total. Hi Seth. And like I'm gonna take a Ocarina or a park. Might actually be a taxi park. Here they demolished this entire place. Remember there were carpentry workshops, eh? So they demolished almost all that place. Maybe they are going to put a taxi park because the Boise taxi park may actually be long overdue. Yeah, so today we are going to be talking about the things a person should not do when they have just bought a first car. And this should actually apply to every car you buy. Because normally, when the things that we are going to talk about are done, mistakes are made, money is spoiled. And normally, when people do these things, they think they're actually trying to save money, they're trying to put their car in good condition, in better condition. Nenga ato yonona sente olumu nokono ne moroka yenyini. Yeah, they are there. This is a bus also. So I'm saying this because first of all I've experienced this myself. Yes. I've also experienced, you see, when I help someone buy a car, the phone calls that come to you, good morning Steve. Yeah, so the phone calls that normally people make to me the first 2 days, yeah, I've realized that some of these phone calls are actually not because the car is actually in bad condition. Some of these phone calls are because someone has probably panicked and they normally do the things that we are going to talk about. And when they do, if they don't spoil the car, they spoil the money that they have. And before you know it, sometimes you actually spoil the car, or sometimes a lot of money is taken from you by the mechanics that you bring, or by the what should we call the knowledge givers. They take your money in the guise of trying to help you make your car better, and then you start saying banangi emoroka yali ya bei, emoroka banguze emoroka ngeri mu mbeera mbi, emoroka enkadde zintamye. Oh, I've slipped back to the local language. So what I was saying is that normally the things that we're going to talk about, when you do these things, a lot of money ends up being spoiled. The knowledge givers, abawiba amagezi, and the mechanics take a lot of money from you, and they try to convince you that what they are doing is making your car better, because according to them, your car was in very bad condition. And when they take money from you, morning Isaac, when they take money from you, you spend a lot of money, and in the end, you start saying, Anange Moroka, it was in very bad condition. I spent a lot of money trying to get it back in shape, and you say all those things. But in actual sense, the car wasn't bad. It's the people that stole money from you in the guise of helping you that made you believe that. And I'm sure you guys have felt it. Sometimes when your mind believes that you're sick, you actually can fall sick. We have all been there. When you believe you actually get the signs of being sick. You even get sick. You can even go to the hospital But when you reach the hospital, if the doctor is honest, he will tell you, toina bulwadde. But of course, we have run out of honest doctors in Uganda. A friend of mine lost a sister, I think 3 weeks ago. So I was talking to him yesterday, and he told me that their sister would not have died if the doctor was honest. Their sister needed, she had a condition where water would collect in her stomach, and it had to be removed surgically. So this meant that they had to go to a hospital to get that water removed. Now, on this unfaithful day, the hospital where this procedure was done, normally was closed, or the doctor that did it normally wasn't there. So this doctor Kuchalo tells them, I can do it. We have been doing these things every day. And they said, and the sister was saying, Banagi, I'm in pain, you do it. So this doctor, who apparently had done it several times, did it. And instead of getting water from the stomach, he accidentally pricked the liver. That's how she died. So when another doctor came, but when the panic is there, people cannot keep secrets, they cannot. So when the doctor came, said, so they told them, you bring her kids, the woman is going to die. And just like that, they lost their person. So we are short of good doctors in Uganda, by the way. And I think we need to be aware. Me, I'm doing my part to create awareness. With every sickness, they tell you it's best for you to get a second opinion if you are in Uganda. Yeah, we don't have a lot of honest doctors in Uganda, by the way. Many doctors are all about making money. So you'll find that they'll tell you need an operation when you don't. And they will open you up. And they'll do that operation when you don't really need the operation. You'll find that they can even treat cancer when you don't have it. We don't have a lot of honest doctors. So in a way, I've always been making the analogy that doctors and mechanics are pretty much the same people. Why? They gamble with us. In actual sense, they don't gamble. These guys went to school, they are professionals, unlike the mechanics. So the doctors know what they are doing. They don't really gamble with us. What he does is he stalls to make sure that he gets as much money out of you as he can. And when he has gotten enough money out of you, if you don't die, then he will discharge you. So when you're in Uganda and you have a sick person and things seem not to be getting better, it's always better for you to get a second opinion. And I've realized it doesn't matter whether the hospital is big or small. Doctors are doctors. Sometimes you'll find an honest doctor, and other times you'll not find an honest doctor. So me, I'll create awareness as much as I can, because I've seen this hospital in Matuka called Uganda was treating my son for typhoid and malaria when he didn't have it. They actually they gave us a bed for 2 days, and apparently the doctor that discharged us because my son was playing on the phone. I discharged you. I found the boy playing on the phone, so he was okay. And then at that very night when we were discharged, the boy was getting worse. So when we went to get a second opinion, we realized the boy didn't have a malaria, he didn't have typhoid, he just had an infection of the throat, which was disturbing him. And just one treatment from this other hospital, the boy was fine. Now, normally when you say something like that, someone will say, the second hospital is trying to make you soil the name of the first hospital. But trust me, I even wanted to sue. But the second doctor told me I can't testify against another doctor. I may need that doctor to help me somewhere, somehow. And when you get, so it's always better for you need to look out for yourself. Some doctors are not really looking out for you. Morning, Stuart. So when you get a sickness, you see it's not getting any better, always get a second opinion, and if possible, get a third opinion. You'll be safe. Some doctors are all about getting money. If they can get 500,000 out of you, they'll get it. They get 500,000 out of another person and they have made 1 million in 2 days. You get. So always get a second opinion, because second opinion is not about the money, it's about the life. you want to save your life or the life of your loved one, yeah, second opinion will always help you. So I don't know how bad it would have gotten with my kid if I hadn't gotten a second opinion, thinking that these people are treating. Remember they did, you know, they told me the test for typhoid, and this slipped out because the lab technician was panicking, and he said, but we don't have a typhoid test. So I asked him, how did you check typhoid? How did you check my son for typhoid if you don't have a typhoid test? And he said that normally there is a test for infections that we use for all infections. Oh my God, I froze for a minute. So you guys were treating my son for typhoid when he did actually know for sure that he had typhoid, and I paid for a typhoid test. Woo! So you guys always get a second opinion. Away from that, let's go back to our topic: things you should never do when you buy your first car. And I'm saying this should apply for all cars. Second, third, fourth car. These things you should not do. Okay? And it does not matter what condition the car is in. If you buy a car and it's all, let's say you bought a car 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, because those are like the cars that you will buy and they are not in very good condition, and you literally almost need to fix everything if you're not lucky. Okay, but like I said, we bought a Corsa over the weekend for one of my followers at 5 million, and he literally doesn't need to fix everything. Now he's the one that actually prompted me to do this video, because when we bought the car, he was about to start fixing a whole lot of things that don't need to be fixed. Because when we inspected this car, the only reason I told him to actually buy it at 5 million was because it was worth it. This car was so worth it. Where are you going to buy the mask from though? That's why I'm this way. So that's he has prompted me to do this, because a lot of phone calls were coming to me. Sijui the mounting is not good, Sijui the what. So a lot of ideas were flowing to him. People were telling him, you get it. So he prompted me to do this video, and I hope that it helps another person. Yeah, I hope that it helps another person not make a mistake. Good morning, Kenneth. So the first thing that you're going to want to do when you buy your first car or next car is don't try to fix anything for like a month. Don't try to fix anything for like a month. A motor car, if you buy a car like this, it does not matter what condition it is in. Okay, if it is in a very bad condition, I have to change the camera towards me. Let me just fix my light here. If it's in very bad condition and you're sure that car is in very bad condition, okay, park it. Now I know I'm one person that doesn't encourage you people to park cars that you bought, but let me tell you one thing. The moment you want to fix the car and make it better in the first month that you have bought it, it's going to be too expensive for you. Why? Because first of all, you're excited about your car. You really want it. You love this car. It excites you just looking at it. Mechanics know this. Yakagure motoka. Mugambi chino chifu. Mugambi chino chifu. We are left. And you know, they will tell you these things, and if you try to tell them, they will tell you, Now I'm using the local language because when people are buying cars here, for the guys that are not in Uganda, when people buy cars here in Uganda, the sellers literally use local language. The mechanics use local language. Everyone uses local language. So, but I'm telling you that the worst time for you to try and make your car better is the first month you have bought it. It's the worst time. So if you buy a car, let it be a Chivina, let it be a Chikumi, let it be a Starlet. For the first 1 month, don't fix anything. for the first 1 month. Actually, it should actually be 2 months. Don't fix anything in the first 1 or 2 months. Let it be 2 months. The only thing you should do when you have just bought that car is go for service. Okay? Take it for service. That's the only thing you should do, because that keeps the engine healthy. And services, the service I'm talking about is very simple. Change oil filter, change air filter. You're done. That's the only thing you should service. Now, the other thing you should work on, and this should be on the need to do basis. It should only be, you have people that live this near, or whether they just shifted. The other thing you should just look at, and this is on need to be, is the brakes. And this should only be fixed if you're totally sure the brakes will not take you for that period that we have talked about, the 2 months. If you buy a car, Martha, you're going to buy our Ipsum. The moment you buy the Ipsum, don't fix anything for at least a month or 2. Let it be 2 months. Don't fix anything. If you think the car is in really bad condition, you park the car for that 1 or 2 months. Park the car. It will not harm you. Why I want you to park the car? The reason you're going to park, but no parking. No, I'm saying because someone will tell you that if you really think it's bad, park it. But I'm telling you this from experience, you don't need to park the car. Drive the car. If you have done service and the brakes are good, just drive your car for that 1 month or 2 months. Okay? Drive your car without fixing anything. Don't even try simanya mounting, sijui the shocks. Don't try to fix all those things, because you Ipsum mani oba mani. Yes, Muhammad. Yes, it's a pleasure. So you guys, for that 1-2 months, don't try to fix the shocks. Don't try to fix the mountings. Don't try to spray your car. Don't try to buy sport rims. Don't try to fix the interior. Don't try to fix anything. I'm telling you this because I've been there. I've been there. Kwata sentezo ziteteke okujja konga, you live in the village, like you live in Mbale, you've come to Kampala to buy a car, you have to go back to Mbale, like the colleague that bought the Ipsum here in Kampala and went back to Mbale. And you know that in Mbale the shocks will be super expensive, and you have to actually change the shocks from here. But if you're the kind of person you live in a place where it's actually okay for you to buy shocks later, it's okay for you to do those things, and actually if you can drive your car to up country and then come back to fix those things, it's even better. Do you know why? Because you'll drive the car to up country, feel whatever you feel, then drive it back, and by the time you're back, even the things that are in very good condition but they need to be fixed, they will have showed you that, okay, now we need to be fixed. But that's the first thing you don't want to do. You don't want to fix anything in the first 1 or 2 months. First thing first, you will relax. Okay? You will relax. What do I mean relax? The excitement of this your new car is going to go down. Good morning, Emma. Yeah, thank you. So the excitement for this your new car is going to go down. You know, when you have just bought a car, for men, I don't know about women, but I know of a chick that actually bought a car and wanted to sleep in it for a week. But when you have just bought a new car, sometimes you want to go and sleep in it. You park it, and when you're walking away, you have even look back. That's the first few months. It's even worse in the first 2 months. So that's why I'm saying that don't fix anything in the first 1 or 2 months, and let everything relax. Okay? Now, you have the number of the person that sold you the car. This is the time for you to interact with him. Because at this time you have bought the car, this person doesn't lose anything. If he lied to you before you bought the car, now he doesn't need to lie to you. You can actually call him and tell him, okay, my boss, I've bought your car. Now we have nothing to lose. What exactly should I fix in this car if I'm to have peace? Because trust me, the car you have bought has been on the road being driven by a person. So he will tell you, okay, the car has this issue, but that one, you don't need to fix it because you can drive the car even with that issue. And he's being honest because he has been driving that car. And sometimes you need to listen to him and know. Try driving the car with that issue in it because yabadajivuga for a very long time without fixing those things. But now you're going to make yourself a mugezi trying to fix it. Sometimes you're going to buy a car and then the mechanic will tell you, zino bush bateka muzaba torombi. Who told you nti ezaba torombi? Ezaba zungu zenungi. If someone has been driving with the bush ezaba toro for some time, it means you can actually drive the ezaba toro for the 2 months. And if you actually realize that ezaba toro they are not be making you comfortable, then you can change. But if you realize ezaba toro nungi, you leave them. You get it? Now, 2 months, don't fix anything for 2 months. The second thing you don't want to do, you don't want to listen to all these knowledge givers. Okay? You don't want to listen to the wiseacres. You get it? It is tough to resist the temptation of fixing if you have that man. Exactly, Steve. That's what I'm saying, is that it has happened to me. And you know, sometimes when someone says, that is what happened. He tried to fix everything in the first 2 months. And in that period, he fixed even the things that did not need to be fixed. Let me tell you, I fixed this car when I just bought it, my God. Then after some time, I realized, let me tell you what happened. When I bought this car, I bought 4 new shocks. I realized I have three good shocks in my store at home. Because for me, when they fix things in my car, everything, since you are, as a mechanic, you're telling me the things are bad, give me my things. Auntie BB, put them in the boot. So normally, if you take the shocks out of, the brakes out of my car and you tell me the brakes are bad, so where are you taking them? Put them in the boot. So normally, for me, every time they take something out of my car saying it's bad, they put it in the boot. They put it in the boot. You get, eh? So for me, that's what happens. Even if it's shocks in the boot, you get. So I have 3 shocks that are very good at my home. You get. So I bought shocks that I didn't need to buy. I could have bought 1 shock, but because I was excited, the mechanic actually tells you, at that time he knows you have the money, excited about the car. So I bought 4 new shocks. The bushes were good, but he told me, people, sometimes when you fix the car in the first 2 months, yeah, you're just wasting money. I'm telling you this because I've been there and plenty of people have been there. So let me give you the scenario of my friend here who bought the car on Saturday. Thank you. He bought the car on Saturday. Leave those things, Aban. Leave them. So when he bought the car, I drove the car. I had a mechanic with me. Even the person that sold us the car is a mechanic. Okay? And I asked him, I told him, I have a brand to protect. I don't want you to give my follower a car that is bad. Because we had moved and seen a lot of cars, but this car was something else. So I told this guy, you know what? We should buy this car. He also liked it. And I told this guy, you know what? We are buying this car, but I don't want to spoil my brand. You get? What is the problem? And he told me, no, I've just fixed the entire suspension system, new shocks. There was what I think he said 2 shocks were bad. He fixed them. He fixed the bushes. Yeah. And the braking system wasn't so sweet. So I told them, the brakes need to be fixed later. Okay. And I think that was the only problem. One tire wasn't good. The 3 tires were very good. The interior was superb. The body wasn't the best, but you can drive it for years. So they do service. I leave them changing the oil.
This week will not close.
Yeah, it will close in the evening. So later on, I call him, okay, how is the car? He tells me, nayekati bangambye, I need to do with alignment. Even the other 3 tires are not good. Then the bushes are not good. Then I think he told me even the mounting, But trust me, I know the kosa. You get? Actually, the moment one of his friends sat in the car, he said, he started seeing something wrong with the car. Because I asked him, have you ever driven a Corsa? He says, no. Then I told him, okay, this Corsa is not a Primo. It's different. The clock is different. You get? But then later on, when he told me that those things need to be fixed, I told him, okay, did you check the tires to see that? Because if all the tires are bad, let's take them back to the guy. He gives us some of the money back, and then we go buy new tires. Now, you don't want to listen to everyone. That's the second thing you don't want to do. Because some people have no idea what they are talking about. You get? Let me tell you, some cars have that shaking beat, like when the car is idling, and for some cars it's totally normal. Now for a person that doesn't know that it's normal, they will tell you the mounting is bad. You get? They will tell you the mounting is bad, and indeed they'll remove it. But even when the mounting is bad, even when they put a new mounting, that shaking will continue to stay there, because that's how that car is. Yeah, that's why the new VVTi cars don't have that thing. The moment a VVTi car has that thing, you need to give it attention. But the old engines, actually, majority of the old engines, that's why you see, if you have sat in a taxi in Uganda, you'll sit in a Netankano Kankana, dig. It's normal for those cars. You get, especially as they grow old. But it doesn't mean that the car is bad. It doesn't mean the mountings are bad. You get, it has something to do with the rev levels. Sometimes they will leave the rev levels down for reasons, mechanical reasons. You get? So you don't want to fix anything for the next 2 years. 2 months, I mean. You don't want to listen to everything. Don't listen to a mechanic that hasn't been fixing that car. Don't listen to friends. It does not matter how long your friend has driven cars. It does not matter how many cars your friend has driven. Try as much as possible to shut those people out. You know how you start a new relationship with your girlfriend or your boyfriend? And the moment you start listening to these people, they'll start telling you, hey guy, ngata sana birevu. I start telling you birevu byange bibi. Okay. Guy ngata li smart. Itwachita sana ke birevu ebyo. Because for them, they don't want men with birevu. So they will tell you, hey, those beards are too much. Let him cut them off at least to be smart. That's what normally friends do. Now, yeah, oh, you guy. When I used to have dreadlocks. So people have their ideal. So when I was going for Kuchara, to my wife's place, I was going for Kuchara, and one of my relatives was telling me, na ye Arthur, ezenviki ogenda nazo. Bana atuwa omukazi. And I told him, bana batamutumwe nga bamusigaza omuntu waabwe. Ate byampaka. So he asked me that like 3 times. Me Arthur, ezenviki tugenda nazo. And I told him I'm going with my hair. So the day comes. Actually, I had a Chibina that time. That was 2017. Yeah, thanks. I had a Chibina, and it was not very good. The paint wasn't good. It was an old Chibina. But for me, I'm very proud about the things I own, because I work really hard to get these things. I don't get anything for free. So, and he told me, like, Akati, Arthur, motoka tugenda nayo. And I told him, yes, I'm going with my car because this is my car. You want me to go and get a Mercedes-Benz in Jipangisi, so that they think I have a Mercedes-Benz when I have my Chibina, which is like it is being beaten every morning. So yes, we are going with my Chibina. So on the real day, we set off, we meet at our meeting point, and he looks at my car. Ogenda na you. And I told him yes. So when we were going, I wasn't the one driving. But after, when we had done with the Kuchara ceremony and we were getting out, and the entire family of the girl was standing there at the shading, I told the person in Zenvuge motoka yangi, and I sat in my old Chibina. And you know the windows were up and tinted. I even put them down for everyone to see me driving my old Chibina. It's you need to own your thing. You're starting a new relationship with the car. You decided to buy this car, however old. That's why, actually, tomorrow's video, I'm going to be telling you the issues you should expect in cars that you buy 5 million and below. You get, so that you know. You get. But I've been telling you these things. You get. So you need to be proud. If you buy a car and it has bad paint, you saw it. That's why I normally tell you, give me my 350. I come and look at the car and I tell you this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, but you can drive this car regardless of that condition. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. You get it? You need to have someone there that will actually tell you this is not good, but you can manage it. This is good, but you have to fix it. This is not good. You get it? This is a powerful video. Be proud of your property. Yes, you need to be proud, because me, I work really hard. You get? If you work really hard to get what you get, you need to be proud. Stop listening to all these naysayers, family or friends. They will be telling you, nekakati chechi guzize moroke nkadde, why didn't you wait to get money? Go to the bond ogule moroke nungi ngani. At the moment I can afford the old car, so be proud of it. You're starting a new relationship with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and then people will come and tell you na hiro achite wafunye omwalo omweru oba lwachite wafunye black beauty naye mukazi wonga talina hips boba manyi kyomwagalako. You get? Because we buy cars for different needs. You get? And I think that's one reason why people are getting in debt. You go to someone goes to the bond, they borrow a car of 35 million. They borrow a car at 35 million when they have only 15, so they have a debt of 20 million. You get? All for what? All because they are trying to not seem cheap. They are trying to drive new cars like people they know. I'm imagining Arthur with dreads. Hey, by the way, I used to look very cool. You don't know the number of girls I dated because of the dreads. Yeah, I cut them off, and you know, the day I cut them off, nobody knew. So my first son was born. He was about 1 year. So what I did before I cut off my dreads, I cut my dreads off on my birthday. My birthday is 17th Jan. So that's when I cut off my dreads. But a week before I took my family to the studio, I'm not a picture person. So normally when my wife says tugende kwa studio batukube kubifananyi bya family, I say no. But this time I told them let's go. They didn't know why I was doing it. I had thought about cutting off my dreads for some time. And the one reason I was cutting off the dreads was because they had grown so tall and I could not wash my hair as often as I wanted. Ngazi nsiwa. And then the and all that. So I had thought about cutting off my dreads for like a year. But nobody knew. So I took my family like on a Wednesday, and on a Monday I simply walked into the salon where they used to repair my dreads from, and I told the guy to say and he said, really? I told him because it was in me. I had thought about it for a long time. So I cut them off in the morning, and by 1 p.m. I had forgotten that I even cut off dreads. For me, life was very normal because I had decided. So people were saying, hey, Arthur, what has happened? And I asked them, what? And then I got home in the evening. I was, for me, it was okay because I had thought about it for a very long time. So I had really forgotten that I had cut off dreads. I get home and everyone, the maid is the first person that looked at me, and she was surprised. Then my son looked at me like I was a stranger. Then the wife came. Everything was strange. Then I remembered, and that's how everyone was looking at me for like a year, because for them it was strange, and for me, because I had internalized it. You get, and that's the thing with deciding on your own, that gives you a kind of satisfaction. That's why I'm saying that if you decide to buy this car, you need to decide and know that these are the issues. And I think that's why these videos are very important, so that if you decide I'm going to buy a car at 4 million, you know the issues to expect, which take in, and you know which issues to actually work on quickly and which issues not to work on quickly. You get? So we have said the first thing you don't want to do is you don't want to repair anything in your car for the first 2 months. First of all, to deal with the excitement. Excitement is bad. The excitement is jakufiriza. 2, we have said that you want to try as much as possible to avoid listening to all these people that tell you stuff. Try as much as possible to avoid. Listen to yourself. The only things you should repair in the first 2 months are the things that cannot wait. I'll give you an example. You see that Raum? I had a Raum that was blue like that. I drove it for like a week. And good morning. So, and what happened is that this was when my second son was about to be born. So I had sold my VITs. I needed capital for my business. So I sold my VITs 9 million and I bought a Raum 5 million. And I go to the hospital. I was taking my wife for antenatal. And when we come back, I start the car and the oil lamp refuses to go off. Now this is one thing you need to note. If ever you start a car and the oil light doesn't go off, don't go. Because you will spoil the engine. So the oil lamp refuses to go off. So I called the mechanic, because it was my mechanic that recommended this car, but he hadn't revealed everything. They had just fixed the engine, they didn't change the oil pump. Yet the real reason why they fixed the engine was because oil wasn't going up. So I stayed there for like an hour, and afterwards, actually the pump, I think it woke up, and so then I had to buy an oil pump. That could not wait. You get? Now, this is the other thing. Let me tell you this story so that you know why you should not fix anything in the first 2 months. When I bought this Raum, let me even change to my face. When I bought this Raum, I bought it 5 million. I had sold my car 9 million, and I needed like an extra 3 million for my business. So I bought it 5. I knew I could. I actually bought it 4 point something, because when I bought it 5, I paid some money. Normally, for me, I like to keep some money with the car I don't trust. And then when oil pump refused, I didn't finish the balance. So when I bought this car, I bought new tires, I bought new shocks. You get? Like, I bought those things in the first 2 days. And later on, I realized that this cylinder head was fixed badly and the car was consuming a lot of fuel. And I didn't like it anymore. So you see why you should not fix anything in the first 2 months? So I sold the car in the first 3 weeks because I didn't like it anymore. You get? I didn't like it anymore in the first 3 weeks. So if you fix everything in the first 2 months, what if you realize that, okay, maybe I can sell this car, and then someone is giving you more money because I bought it 5 million. I bought new tires and new shocks, that's like 1 million, and then the oil pump, which was, I put around 250. So that was 6 point something, and I sold it 9 million. So yes, I made a profit off of it. But what I'm trying to say, that what if you don't make a profit as much as I did? Because I was lucky to make a profit off of my car, but you may not be as lucky to make profit off of your car. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not lucky like me, you will regret ever repairing anything in the first 3 months. So don't repair anything in the first 2 months. Don't listen to the naysayers. Okay? Don't listen to anyone. Okay? The other thing you don't want to do when you buy your first or next car, don't go to a garage for anything. Don't go to a garage for anything. Don't take the car to the garage. Park it somewhere, maybe at home, and call the mechanic that you want to work on that thing. Do you know why? Because when you go to the garage, bagenda kutamya motoka yo. Bagenda jikutamya, they will make you hate your car. Let me tell you one thing. We are all not the same. We have different kinds of luck. You get? We have different kinds of luck. You remember when we're having the discussion of houses versus cars, which one should come first? And we said that it depends on where you come from. It depends on your family background. It depends on how much money you make. It depends on what you want to achieve in life. It depends on what you love. There is no concrete, it's not written in stone that either you should buy a car first or you should build a house first. So you need to know that we all have different lucks. We all have different reasons. We all have different things that drive us in life. So someone will go and buy this Sienta because they want it. Because they want it. You get? So you need to realize that someone will tell you, you see, you see the things I normally tell you here on videos. Yes, I tell you these things because those are my facts. Those are my experiences. But they may not be your experiences. You get? They may not be your experiences. You may actually experience something better from what I've said. You see, yesterday we saw a Golf that died on the road. But I have people in comments that say that a Golf is the best car anyone can own. And they'll tell me I've had peace. Someone actually commented on Council Yunusu's video of the Golf and said that for her, she finds that the Golf is like the cheapest car to maintain. She's even people that have Golfs are saying Golfs are expensive to maintain. For her, she's saying it's the cheapest car to maintain. Now you see that Sienta in front of us, it has a gearbox problem. Now those Sientas have CVT gearboxes. Why I'm saying it has a CVT gearbox is because you see how it kept coming back. It kept coming back. It has a gearbox problem. And it disturbs him, especially uphill. You need, when you buy that car, don't service it like I've told you before. Yeah, it will start disturbing you and you'll regret ever changing the hydraulic oil. Yeah, so I would actually recommend that if you're going to service a CVT gearbox, just go to Toyota Uganda, buy their CVT gearbox oil. It will be expensive, but it will be worth it. For all the guys that drive Toyota Fielder, the newer models 2006, 2007, this Sienta, the Ractis, you get. Yeah, for the guys, the Wish Valvematic, I think also has a CVT gearbox. If you have a car that has CVT, you would know that it has a CVT. Yeah, don't just buy any hydraulics. And I'm sure you don't want to do that. Yeah, so you don't want to take your car to the garage because they will speak all sorts of bad things, all the bad experiences. And yet I'll tell you that majority of the times when our cars get that much spoiled, it's the mechanics that lead to them getting spoiled because they have no idea what to do sometimes and they will not tell you. Mechanics are like doctors. You see the story I've told you today morning of my friend's sister who died because the doctor did the wrong operation or did the operation the wrong way. That's what mechanics do. Gearbox tuzikanikawa no bulijjo. Kumbe the gearbox he wants to fix is not the regular gearbox that he fixes every day. You get what I'm saying? So you guys just give me 1 minute. I need to buy snack for the kids for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to be quick. Yeah, I'm back. So you guys, we are covering the things you should not do when you buy your first or next car, because I'm imagining there is someone here who is going to buy another car, not their first, but we also have people that are buying their first car. And I said the first thing was that when you have just bought your car, drive it for 2 months without fixing anything. You get? Those 2 months, for example, will teach you about this car. You get? It's like you getting into a relationship with someone and then you want them to change their religion. That you've gotten a girlfriend, she's Muslim, and she's born again and you're Muslim, and in the first 2 months you want her to change her religion. She will not. She will resist. The same thing actually happens with cars. That you can't buy a car and in those first 2 months you think you can fix everything that the person that had it before could not fix. If I've had my car for 4 years, I sell it to you today. You think you're going to fix it, everything that I failed to fix in 4 years in the next 2 months? You can't. Actually, even if you threw all the money at a car, you cannot fix it to perfection in the first 2 months. You can never. Even if you threw all the money in the world at it. Because money, one thing I've learned in life, that money doesn't fix problems. That's why you realize that even our VIPs that have unlimited health budgets die. Even when they take them to the US, even when they take them to Aga Khan, they still die. You get? Sometimes they die when they would have even lived longer here in Kampala. Why? because our Kampala doctors, our local doctors know our illnesses, our sicknesses better. I'll tell you, for example, if whenever I'm traveling abroad, they actually tell me, gena nedagali ya malaria, gena ne malaria testing kit. Why? Because if you go to countries like Norway, those guys don't have malaria in their country. So you'll find that you get sick and those guys start treating you for illnesses they have that have the same signs and symptoms, and you'll find that they do a test and the test actually comes positive for their sicknesses. Nenga kumbe msaja watu olina malaria no feed eyo. You can actually find that sometimes the guys that die in the UAE die of malaria. Nenga bamkoze ko operation bamujjamu n'ekibumba banye ekibumba kyekirwadde kumbe malaria yacha affectinze. You get, so this I do every time I'm traveling. First of all, I test from here to make sure I don't have malaria. I carry Kazire. I drink Kazire on my way to the airport. I drink Kazire, another bottle of Kazire at the airport. You get, why? Because but of course for me, when I go normally, I travel, I'm there for like 2 to 3 days, then I come back. So in 3 days, malaria. But either way, I go with the test kit, I go with the dose of malaria. Why? Because if I have the malaria, then I can actually treat it myself there. I can test myself and treat it. And even if I don't have it, I take the tabs. Because it's better to take the tabs for the sickness than to not take the tabs. So, and stay bad. So, like I'm saying, you can't fix everything that a person failed to fix for 4 months in 1 month. So drive the car for your 2 months and learn it. Ojisome. Omanyi, you've seen the memes where people say, I know my car. You'll start knowing your car. So that then you'll know that probably I need to fix this, or this I can do without. I'll tell you this. I can drive my car to Kabale every day. If you came to me and told me, let's go to Kabale today, tomorrow, the next day, I can go. It's not in the perfectest condition. But let me tell you one thing. We could go drive to Kabale and find a UBK Harrier like that one, or a UBK Spacio, or a UBK Subaru stuck on the road, a young and again and a Ekoma. Do you know why? Because I know my car. That's why I'm telling you, in the first 2 months, toba akocho ukaniko, kujja konga, chile mese moroko kutambura. Just drive the car. And I told you, the things you should give priority when you buy the car should be service, change the oil filter, change the air cleaner. Okay? Even the plugs, first leave them. First leave the plugs. Do you know why? When someone was selling, normally when people are selling the cars, they change the plugs. Never take them plugs and nunji ko. So unless the car is stalling, don't change the plugs. Just change the air cleaner, air filter, and air cleaner, oil filter, and oil. And if the brakes are bad, work on the brakes as well, because then open the gearbox oil to see if the amount there is enough. If it's not enough, just top up, then drive your car. Okay, drive your car. Then you also need to ask the person that is selling you the car, for example, if the car the key they are giving you is the only key. Otherwise, you'll even go and they even remove the steering, telling you smanya bichi food day. You get, for example, for me, I have 2 keys, this one and this one. This is the alarm key. They both drive the car, but I use this one, and I use this strictly for the alarm. Now, I will not tell you why, but I have a reason why. Katigwe, you will buy this car from me, and then you want to drive with this one because, well, it looks nice to use this one. Yeah? Even me, I wanted to use this one because it looks nice, but I use this one because of my reasons. So when you buy a car, you need to ask the person, ask as many questions as possible. Then you ask him, did you have wires that were looped that I should know about? Do you have a wiring problem? But normally these questions should be asked after you have paid. If you really like the car, pay for the car, then start asking questions. Why? And then make sure you can actually assure this person that, answer me honestly, we have no problem. I just want to make sure that the car doesn't die on me, especially if you're buying old cars. Now I'm talking to the guys that are going to buy old cars. Even 10 million is an old car. You get. Besides, even the cars from the bond, are old cars. You get, but old cars in our case are the cars that have been driven on Ugandan roads. You get. So after you have paid for the car, if you really like it, you have paid for the car. Now, if you can't even go back and sit down with this person and tell him, Muzei, emoroka najiguze era yonjagala. Kati embulira, church bade kisingo kutawanya. Be frank, what has been disturbing you most with this car? And then he will tell you that emotoka eyo ebadde ntawanya wiring. Na ewe yantawanya bakwata wano. He will even show you. There are still good people in the world if you open up. The problem is, normally when Ugandans go to buy cars, especially when they buy a car from a person like me, let's say I'm in need of money, okay? Now they will think I'm an idiot because I'm selling my car. Probably they think they are buying it from me very cheaply, and they think I'm an idiot for selling to them at that price. So they don't even want to associate with me. At that moment, you people normally think that your mechanic is the only person you know that is good to you. But good people exist in the world. Sit this person down or call that person and talk man to man or man to woman or woman to woman or whichever. You get. And tell them, I've bought this car, but I want to know honestly, sagaraba mechanic banzibe. I don't want mechanics to steal from me. I don't want them to cheat me. So what do you think I should focus on as I try to make my car better? Because now it's your car, it's no longer his car. You get? And then this person will actually tell you, kola chino na chino na chino, biri na bikola bwenti. Then you ask him, suspension system gobadde ogikani kotya, shocks wakoma dio zikyusa. And he'll tell you honestly, because he has already gotten his money. At this moment, he has nothing to lose. He will actually even tell you engine nagikyusa, oba bagikolamu, oba yali ekyamuseeko. You get? But you need to know how do you handle this person. So, you don't want to listen to everyone else, but you want to actually listen to the person that you bought the car from. For example, the person that we bought the car with on Saturday. And on Sunday he told me, steering ye kute, tetambula, ikisunzo techikola. And it was telling me, ndese wano omuntu ajemu steering. And I was telling him, kati moroka jitu akagula, ateba jijemu steering. And I told him, toba akocho sumulula, call the person that sold you the car. He called him. Apparently, the person actually gave them 2 keys. One key should be driving the car. The other key was over for what? I think it was the old key. So what happened? A friend drove this car home. And on driving the car home, he took the car that is the key that is supposed to drive this car. You get? Now he left this person with a key that is not supposed to be driving the car. Now this person drove the car from his workplace to home, and the steering got stuck. You get? All they needed was the key that is supposed to drive the car. But because they didn't have it, it didn't even cross his mind that okay, probably the key is wrong. The friend went with the key far away from where they are. And that's how they ended up fixing the lock. They just had to get another key cut. So you need to actually pay attention to these things as you buy a car. Old cars are not bad. We just bought that car at 5 million and I'm sure it's in good condition. I inspected it and I cautioned the person I bought the car from. You get? Because I have a brand to protect. That's why I tell you, for me, I don't just inspect. Nobody people call me, and I tell you guys, me, the 350, actually, the 350 you give me has fuel that I drive with you to go see the car. You get? But Airtel Gababi, they are sending me warning when anyway. So I'm telling you, you have missed some, but you can rewatch. And I'm thinking, JK, with almost everything I'm saying, you know, we have been talking about these things. It's just that I'm making it specific. So I'm saying that most of these old cars are not actually that bad. You just need to know, what do I need to fix? What don't I need to fix? I've told you, me, when I bought this car, I bought new shocks. 4 when I should have bought 1. I changed the bushes when I shouldn't have changed them. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. That normally when you buy this new car, try and ignore the things that need to be ignored. Focus on the things that need to be focused on. I have a friend of mine who bought a new car from the bond. He bought a new Spacio. He had driven it for like 5 months and then he started telling me, Arthur, I feel that this car, I think I should go change the bushes. And I told him, come on, man. You've just put 30 million in a car. You want to go and change bushes? Because I was driving, the candy was telling me, I said, this car has no problem. You should drive my car. Sometimes you just need to go and, you know, normally when we have something, we think it's the worst because it's ours. You should just go and see the people that have worse things and how happy they are with them. You get? So I was telling this guy, you think you should change your bushes? You should come and drive my car, and I'm not changing bushes. Kakatigwe. I normally tell you guys this church is beautiful, but that's why they took a long time to finish it. It's nice. It's not extraordinary, but it's okay. It's beautiful. So I was telling this guy, kakati chicho ogendo kanika okuja ko yagala bakubbe. You know, sometimes you think you're doing something. Actually, if it's a car from the bond, you should not be fixing anything for a year. Minimum period you should be driving that car from the bond is a year without fixing anything. And it can even go 2 years. It should go 2 years without you fixing anything. If you fix anything within a year, then just know alonda bubi moroka. The only things you should be working on when you buy a car from the bond should be changing sport rims. Hey, you see an MP Wuli, his MP is driving a Primo. That's very humble of him. I don't know his name. That's a very humble thing. He has actually greeted the traffic officer. His opposition, that's nice. And it's actually not a brand new, it's a UBF. My God, that's humbleness. I know a certain person that became MP. He was driving a Primo. When he became MP, he went straight to Signas. The funny thing is when he came up from Parliament, immediately he went back to Primo. That's a very humble thing that guy did. When I remember his name, I'll share. Transfer process, it depends on Simon. It depends on which process. If it's a car in the new logbook, like if you buy my car today, I'll give you transfer forms today, and by probably tomorrow the car will be in your names. You get, and you pay 80,000 in the bank only. You get. It looks like yeah, but it's nice. David, it's nice. Churches are not supposed to look trendy. They are supposed to look like that, humble. I find that it's nice. You see that design, it's not even easy to pull off that design. I find that bagamba jizimbe ku nyumba yo kuombulire sente zene area. The builders don't just steal money from you even. So Simon, transfer process depends. If for example you're going to transfer from a green logbook and the person whose name's the green logbook bears is not there, you're going to spend a minimum of 500 to 600,000 to put it to your names, because it's a court process. But if the person is available and it's in green logbook, you contact them, they validate. So you basically give them like 150 to validate, and then when they validate, they give you transfer forms. You go and pay 80,000 in the bank, and then you take those copies to the URA headquarters, and in like 2 days the car will be in your name. So that will cost you about 200 or 300. But if it's the green logbook, 500, and it will take you more than a month, by the way, because you need to go to court, you need to take it to yes, I will, Jack, I will. And then you take it to URA for inspection and all those things. So if it's a green logbook, then the process is long and more expensive. But it's a white logbook, and you know the owner, it's the cheapest process that you could ever do. Yeah, I think I'll do a broadcast on that. Yeah. So you guys, it should be buying a car, like I've been telling you guys. Sometimes it's not even luck. Sometimes it's the stupidity and the panic that we put ourselves in. That church design is the same as the one at my O-level school, Nyakashura School, Fort Portal. So probably the architect was the same. Yeah, you know, a person that designs churches is known by church circles. So you will find that the architect for Rubaga Lubaga Cathedral. We'll probably design many more Catholic churches. Waliwo abantu abapapa bannange. Nonoonye ekimupapya nga tokiraba. So, you guys need to know that cars are not that bad. Sometimes we are the ones that make the cars bad. How? By first of all panicking, by second of all listening to everyone, thirdly wanting to fix everything that is wrong with that car, making it new. You cannot make an old car new, even if you want. So someone buys an old car and they want it to even stop kukubagana. I don't know what that is called. To chatter, make chatter noises over checho. Oluzungu. You get kwegamba omuntu nagule moroka ngankadde nayagala emena kubagana. Emoroka enkadde ina kubagana. You get ebipapula bino obiwulira. Okiwulira? So ene moroka bwe kubagana kino kikubagana ekya passenger kikubagana n'ebyemabega bibiri bikubagana. So trust me, ene moroka nkadde kukubo eryettaka egenda kubagana whether you like it or not. So you can't want to fix everything in this camp oyagala ebeerenge empya. Of course it's possible. Naye egenda kulya sente zaabwere tutandika okugamba moroka enkadde mbi. You get? If you want a car that feels new, buy a new car. Okitegeera? So tomorrow, the good things tomorrow, I'm talking about the issues to expect in cars that are 5 million and below. Okay, it's going to be a very good thing, so that you know. That way, when you tell me I want to buy a car of 5 million and below, I first send you a link for you to watch that video to know the things we should expect in that car and how much probably it will cost you to fix them. But when I say that you should expect these issues, it does not mean that you should fix all those things in one day. You get? As a matter of fact, you can fix these things over a period of 2 years. But normally, because when you buy a car, you have that excitement and you have probably you have saved that car money, you have it in the pocket, you want to use it all on the car so that it becomes new. It can never be new. Then the other thing is, when you buy a car, you want your friends, your best friend to drive it for you. Then you want to go to your uncle, then don't. If it's a mistake, you have already made it. So don't go to people trying to get them to tell you what is wrong with the car. So one thing you need to know, as long as the car is not going to die on the road, and by the way, have you guys seen off anywhere? You know where it's mafuta. Bagenze kugula mafuta. You guys, I tell you, there are cars that you will buy. Utandika okuswara ko. Nuwa zinywa. Zinywa. Uye musiseko. But I also tell you guys, why buy a new car if you cannot put a lot of fuel in it? Kati ogule moroka empyo gitekingamu emitwalo ebiri. Lwaki weeyogezaako? If you buy a new car, you need to be able to fuel it. Keep it at minimum quarter tank. Me, I've seen all my friends that buy new cars. The moment he buys a new car, they stop taking fuel of 20k. They start taking fuel of 100 and above. So that way, you leave it in quarter tank minimum. You get what I'm saying? So you guys, these cars are not bad. Old cars are not bad. New cars are not bad. So forget about all those things that people tell you. That is one of the panickers. He panics when he buys a car. He wants to make it new immediately. But I'm telling you, as long as the car can take you to Mbarara and bring you back, me, I've told you, come and give me a journey. If you are there and you have your car money, we'll go to Kabale now and come back with my Jaga. We go to Kabale and come back. Because I've been telling you, me, I drive 85 kilometers a day. And I have no problem. Me, I do maintenance fixing. I fix the things that need to be fixed. Like yesterday, I told you that the self-starter was bad. Indeed, it was fixed. I bought a new self-starter, put it there, and the problem I got yesterday morning, I've not got it today. Actually, when I put that new self-starter, the car starts like it's new. Like it's new. So I realized all this time that I've been driving this self, the self-starter. All this time, the thing was dead. It was dying slowly. You get most of the things in this car, they warn you. Like now today, I didn't get the issue. You get what I'm saying? Of course, when you buy an old car, you're going to spend money on it. But it will not be the same as spending money on a new car. Because even new cars die. Even new cars have issues. You get? And by the way, when a person gets a new car and they get issues, they will never talk about it. It's very rare for you to find someone that is humble enough to tell you nagule moroka million asatu mukaga nefa gearbox. It's very hard. They keep quiet because na ichi bachi muruma mulinga ati ano kwogera because ajja kuswala. The people that don't fear being ashamed are very humble people. You get? They are very humble people, and it's very hard to find a humble person in this Kampala here, especially if they are a young person. Most of us young people are totally humble. You get? So you guys, I think I've told you everything I need to tell you in this broadcast. It's very important because majority of the issues that will come, they will come first of all when you try to fix everything, when you try to fix the car, make it better in the first 2 months, when you listen to everyone. There is a person that commented in one of my videos that he will never buy a used car because he bought a car at over 7 million and he used 10 million to repair it. Now, how do you use 20 million to repair a car? What are you repairing? You get? It also means what you don't know what you're repairing. 20 million? Seriously? 20 million? You guys, sometimes we need to be serious, eh? And I think we need to do our research. 20 million? Chitegeza to wagura motoka. You didn't buy a car. You bought a kayumba. You bought a body of a car and you had to put everything. You had to put seats. You had to put a new engine. You basically had to, you bought a kayumba of a car and everything was not there. Because even if I bought this car, nga kayumba keikoka kenguze, the engine, I will buy engine and gearbox. I will not make 20 million. I would not. Why would I buy a kayumba? That's why you guys need to invest in pre-purchase inspection. Don't expect to buy a car without inspecting it. Don't expect it to be most of all. You see, I know what I'm looking for, but when I'm going to buy a car with someone, I go with a mechanic. You get? I have my own opinion, but even a mechanic has an opinion. 2 heads are better than one. Cut, even you're there, we are 3 people. You know what you want. On Saturday, we went and saw a car, a Marino. It was in very good condition, by the way. It was in equally good condition like the Corsa we bought. But you know, me and the mechanic, we liked the car. But the person that was buying said, tender be keep double range. Now you see how 3 people make a decision. The engine was good. It looked new. The interior was original. The body was original. It had all 4 tires. You get? It was just good. But the car buyer did not like it. Did not like how it looked. He said, you get? And when he said that immediately, because me, I know, the first thought that normally comes to someone's head is honest. And I told them, because he will not like it. He will not feel proud driving it. You get? So we walked away. And you need to have more than your head when you're going to buy a car. Because majority of the time when someone, for example, you know how I'm charging money to inspect? If someone doesn't give me money to inspect the car for them when they buy, if that car gets problems, they will not come back to report into why. I went and bought a car without you, but you know what happened? I got problems. Normally they will not say. The people that actually share are the people that are happy with what they have done. And of course, I'm telling you, you can actually buy a car without me. If you watch the videos on this channel, they can be a guidance. They can be a guideline for you to actually make the right decision as you buy a car. You don't need to go with me, okay? But I think it would be a much better option to go with me and my mechanic. If you have your mechanic, you also bring them along. But normally I think I'm sufficient with the mechanic that I come with. You get? So I think I've covered everything, guys, so I have to go. Okujjako nga mwina ebibuuzo. I answered the question about car transfer, but also you might have emotional attachment to that type of car, which makes you overspend to repair it. Exactly. The fact that you bought it is already emotional attachment. You know how normally when someone has been dating a woman for some time and the woman dumps them and they say, "Byonna byenkukoledde, byonna byenkukoledde, nenkuwaza rent, nenkugulira engoye." You see, just by doing those things, he got attached, thinking that because I'm doing these things for you, you should love me back, because I'm doing these things because I love you. It's only fair that you love me back. That's it. The fact that someone has actually bought. So Jack is saying, and sometimes you have no other car and need it to move. People overspend on repairing a car because you might not be keeping track of the expenses. After you make someone hate new cars. No, Maria, I'm not making you hate new cars. No. I'm not meant to make. I'm just telling you that a car is a car. It's like you saying a car is a car. There is no way you're going to tell me. Okay, well, there is a time I drove a new Subaru. You saw the video of the Subaru. It felt fresh. But when I went back and sat in my Corolla, I realized we get the same comfort. The only thing the new car person gets is he doesn't get the kukubagan, which I get. But my Corolla has AC. Ochitegeera kati chicha aina chesirina. I can go to Kabale just the same. And by the way, I've raced with Subaru guys on the road in America. In my Corolla here, my old Corolla, oil. Ochitegeera. But I'm not trying to make you hate cars or new cars, but I'm just telling you that sometimes you don't need to buy a new car to have peace. You just have to make the right decision while buying an old car. You just have to make the right decision, do the right inspection, and you'll be okay. So, someone saying a car is meant to move you from point A to B, but for some, it's a status symbol. Okay, that makes sense. There are people that buy cars because of status. But guys, if you do not watch Council Yunusu's video part A, you go and watch it. It's there. He tells you, because he's a lawyer and lawyers drive German cars. Nemusako zawe bachogera ugovuga kamotoka ki. Actually nekaka kyagamba they still tell him, why are you driving that Caractis? He drives the Ractis. You get. And for him, he doesn't have a problem with the Ractis. But for his status as a lawyer, they think he should probably be driving a bigger car because he's a lawyer. He should probably be driving a Mercedes Benz. But he will never go back there, because he realized at the end of the day, nobody cares. When you're driving your status car and it's consuming fuel on you, it's dying on you every day. You get. You don't have money for fuel because you had 30 million and used 29 to buy a car. And now, you no longer have money to actually fuel this car. People, yesterday JK told us of a neighbor of his who during lockdown, he had a Harrier Kawundo, and during the lockdown, he could not pay rent, so he ran away. Why are you buying a car of 50 million when you cannot afford to pay rent for 2 years, rent of 450? You get. There are things that we should first take care of before we actually go to think of status, because at the end of the day, nobody cares about you. Those people that say, hey, those guys actually don't matter in your life, and they don't care about you. You get. They don't. So status or not, kama wangi, I don't think Kukubagana Old Chira Road at this time. If you go there, I actually use Old Chira Road and making funny noises. Yeah, I actually use Old Chira almost every day, and I don't really get a problem. And actually, David, jam is a matter of math. If you have taken a shortcut before, try calculating the fuel using the shortcut and see if you save anything when you go through the jam. I've realized that sometimes you don't save any money because the route for the shortcut is actually longer. It gives you more kilometers. Yet when the car is idling in jam, it doesn't take that much fuel. So that's why I use Old Chira Road, because it's a straightforward road. There are no risks normally. It's safer. The jam is produced. There are always traffic officers. That's why I use it. The rent was 700k. Yeah. So if you can't pay the rent of 700k for 2 years, why are you driving a car of more than half 50 million? Why are you? Anyway, but you know, it might be status. Maybe yadukanga saze wadukebudusagene mu nyumba yebbe yesinga kawo. Who knows? You get, we cannot judge because we are not in his shoes. We don't know what happened in his life. You get. So your Corolla arrested Subaru off. Tochi kubya. You guy, if you have a Subaru come, let me tell you one thing. You need to know that chinto chivuge moroke bisere imuguba mutima. You get. But also you might find a Subaru that has a bad engine. I also don't believe that if a Subaru has a speed of 180, my car has a 180, and that Subaru is non-turbo, or it has a faulty turbo, trust me, I will beat him. You get? Like now, you can't tell me that the Impreza 1.5cc can race me off. Because I'm in manual, especially automatics. It's very hard for you to find automatic car that will beat me. I'm driving manual. I can shift gears as fast as I want. You get? I shift, I go to 1, I come back to 2, back to 3. If I find that I go back to 1, which can't happen with an automatic car. I think that's why I beat him, because I'm driving manual. But also, sometimes you'll find that I've driven longer on the road than him. You get? I've driven longer on the road than him. So he's less experienced cutting them. I know how to maneuver. You get? So you guys, I encourage you guys to read the comments here, because normally in the comments there are good experiences. Like you inspired me. Muhammad is saying you inspired me to buy a G Touring UAF at 3 million. I got it 3 months and I'm repairing it slowly, and it's getting better every day. I take it to my farm every week and it's performing well. You see, this is what I tell you guys. This is what I tell you. You need to know purpose. Why are you buying the car? This gentleman here, and he's not complaining, and he still has some money, which take it a joga because akasente ke kasigala uti yakamala au mu Morocco. Which take it bobo chetete nkanyanze nebwemba ne German car, anyone can outrace me. You see, now JK is telling us anyone can outrace him. It doesn't matter which car. You see, me I outrace up, but I still believe no kwakirizamu kuno chintu chikulu. Zakamoroka kanu kamanyi kaduka. Sometimes I drive it ninkawira nkata nsokwenyenya. Sometimes I can run and empira nkata nsokwenyenya. You get? So you guys, I hope we have learned something. Unless you have questions. Unless you have questions. And you guys, there is another thing that JK shared sometime. He told us he bought a plot of land at 12. Did you buy 20 million in 2012? And right now people are giving him 200 million after 10 years. You guys, instead of buying a car at 30 million, get a car of 10 million and buy a plot of land at 20 million and leave that land there for 10 years, because the 20 extra million you want to invest in the car is not going to come back. So why not just put it in a plot of land and leave it there for 10 years like JK did? And his car has doubled over how many times? People want to buy a car. Hi Ryan from Bangladesh, thank you for being here. People want to buy a plot from him that he bought 20 million. They want to buy it at 200 million now after 10 years. Okujako ngomanyi you're not going to be alive after 20 years, then don't buy the plot of land. But if you're going to be alive for after 20 years, what's the problem with you doing that? Sometimes a few months ago, I opened Prudential for my kids. I had been resisting for some time, and then one of the ladies I work with is a Prudential agent, and she did the math for me. And just like that, I decided to open a Prudential for my kids. I'm putting minimum amount. I'm putting 100K for each of them. And why am I doing that? Is because I put a period of 9 years. I'm doing that because after 9 years, I will have served about 20 something million, but I'll not be getting 20 something million. I'll be getting 38 million. Do you know how long it takes for someone to spend 200,000? A very small time. You can spend 200,000 in an hour. You get. So if I can get 200K and put it somewhere, just leave it there for 9 years. You get, and it will almost double in 9 years. You get. For me, I see no problem with it. So if you have 30 million, instead of taking it to the bond to buy a car that might actually get an accident tomorrow, buy a car at 10 million. Buy a car at 10 million. Buy a car at 10 million and buy a car at 10 million and use the 20 million to invest somewhere and leave that money, forget about it. Oboguze shares, oboguze waliwo these plans that they have, the insurance guys which give you 10% per annum. Or you decide to buy land, because JK is sharing here that a friend of his, let me see, why isn't it opening? A friend of his bought is it 4 acres of land? At 37 million and sold. A friend of his bought 3 acres of land in Nakasaja for 37 million in 2014. She sold it last year for 300 million. You get, guys. So instead of getting 37 million and buying a car, why not just invest some of that money somewhere where it will double? Kato yagura 37 million. You don't need 37. You can just buy an acre of land at, let's say, 20 somewhere. Fence it off, leave it there. Or you can hire it out to someone to be doing farming there. Go CDK and you wait 10 years. Now, I'm not a business advisor, I'm not a financial advisor, but the things JK says make sense. They make sense. You can imagine someone had 37 million in 2014, abadenga yerumia for all these 10 years, tatunda katakake, and now she gets 300 million. Ochitegera. 300 million, she can buy a plot of land in Bulindo, build a house in Bulindo, and even sell it 500 million. But that's just me talking. It might not apply to you. Oyinza okwesanga gugule moroke ya million ana kyekikolera amakulu okitegeera nga you expect to die next year. Myaka 10 tojja kubaawo. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for being here. Hi Edgar. Unfortunate you're saying I have a deadline to catch, so I have to go. I'm reminding you guys, I have a marketing workshop starting on 28th to 3rd December. 28th November. It's going to be 6 days, 2 hours each day, and I'm going to be together with some other guys. We're going to be teaching marketing concepts, general marketing fundamentals, from fundamentals to digital marketing to of course to customer service and customer care, to prepare your business or the business of the people that you're sharing this information with for the Christmas sales, because Christmas is the period that you either make a lot of sales or the period you see your neighbors make a lot of sales. And then after Christmas, the people that bought from you during Christmas, if they are happy with your service, then they'll keep coming back and back and back and back, and you'll keep making money from them. And that's how it works. And that's the workshop that we're going to be running. She wasn't selling, but someone, real estate guy, wanted the land badly. See, she wasn't even selling. Yeah, so you guys, Brian, who was #1 today, Martha, Chris Da Vinci, Seth, Steve Barros, Isaac, Stuart, Kenneth, Muhammad, Emma, Elia, Plumbing, Maheno, Maria Chasi, Mire, JK, Simon, David, Johnny, Maria, Yeah, and of course Ryan's Gaming from Bangladesh and Edgar. So you guys, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it. It's nice that normally yesterday I saw a meme and someone was saying that we when you do something, you post something on your social media and 50 people like it, we take that for granted. But just imagine if 50 people came up to you and they complimented you that you guy, you're smart. 50 people, how good would you feel? Obviously you would feel so good, right? So for me, I don't take the fact that you guys come to watch this content for granted, that I get 20 people to watch. It's not that I'm that special. No, you guys take time, you use your data, you use your time. Time is the most important resource that anyone ever has ever had to watch this. Yeah, so you guys, thank you very much. Don't forget, I'm running a marketing workshop starting 28th November to 3rd December. Recommend your friend. It's not very expensive. It's 160 for the 6 days, and it doesn't take a lot of time. It takes only 2 hours out of your time. Those 2 hours are the best investment you will make this month to your business and to you. This is the best investment you're going to be doing, because you'll be learning something and knowledge that will stick with you for the rest of time. And marketing is the only income generating department in any business, because accounting saves money, marketing makes money. And if you make a lot of money, you can hire any accountant, the best accountant in the country. If you make a lot of money, you can hire the best people to work for you. So thank you very much. To learn more about the workshop, just go to arthurchisenyi.com/workshops, and you will learn everything about the workshop there, and the costs, and even the addresses there. There is a Google Map. You can see where the workshop is going to be taking place. So share that information with friends. I've already posted a flyer on this channel. I've posted a video on this channel, and you can share it on your social media platforms. That will be very helpful to me. I really appreciate that you can do that for me. Yeah, don't forget, I also sell tracking devices. A tracking device is 350,000 there and then, and with that device you can actually turn off the engine from wherever you are. Even if you are in the UK, you can turn off the car engine. It cannot start again until you have actually turned it back on. You can see where your car is in real time, where it has been. You get how much speed how fast the person that drives the car is using, and all so many things. You can even call it. That's how powerful our tracking device is. You can do all this on the phone. I've actually been here for 1 hour and 27 minutes, Ivan. So sit do semango. But you guys, thank you very much for being here. I wish you a very fruitful day. Ciao.